Imagine a cherished community gem fading away forever, after nurturing countless smiles, stories, and small miracles for nearly 2 decades. A beloved family-operated wildlife sanctuary is shutting its doors for good, leaving behind a trail of heartfelt goodbyes and unanswered questions about what comes next. But here's where it gets deeply personal. This isn't just about a park, it's a mirror reflecting our changing world, where rising expenses and unpredictable weather challenge the very things that make life feel connected and alive. Stick around, because the real story unfolds in the details, and the emotions, that make this closure so much more than a simple headline. For 17 years, this intimate, family-managed wildlife haven has been a hub for adventure and affection. Picture chubby toddlers with gooey fingers gently touching lemurs, couples turning casual outings into cherished weekend traditions, and dedicated volunteers discovering the subtle joys of animal caregiving. Yet now, it's time to fold up the handcrafted signs and lock the gates indefinitely. Escalating operational costs, relentless storms that battered the facility year after year, and an expired lease agreement have transformed what was once a joyful routine into an inevitable farewell. The team is devastated, with staff shedding tears and locals showing up with homemade treats. Neighborhood children have even crafted heartfelt goodbye notes for the playful otters, each one a tiny testament to the bonds formed here. As dawn breaks, casting a golden glow over the meerkat enclosure, there's a serene anticipation in the air, the quiet rustle of brooms sweeping walkways and the zip of jackets worn by caretakers. A father hoists his little girl up to peek over the barrier, where she excitedly waves at a goat as if it were an old pal. The cafe fills with steam from fresh brews, punctuated by boisterous laughter, and the intercom system hums to life with announcements. This parting feels profound, resonating deeply in the heart long after. One modest sign at the entrance sums it up in a single word: goodbye. A farewell etched in animal tracks. The lineup at the entrance appears unremarkable at first glance: strollers, elders, and young adults sipping ice drinks, until you spot the somber expressions and the prolonged pauses by the information board. The lemur exhibit, always the highlight, now boasts a 30-minute wait, with handlers sharing anecdotes as if imparting treasured family secrets. The powerful whoosh of a falcon's flight captivates onlookers, while the familiar scents of straw and moist wood shavings evoke nostalgia. This marks the final weekend for an establishment that thrives on these moments, making every fleeting interaction feel infinitely precious. A volunteer in a worn fleece jacket scrolls through her phone, showing the initial image: a tiny fox cub lapping from a bowl back in 2009, wide-eyed and alert. She swipes to reveal a montage of years gone by: mud-splattered boots, earned badges from birthdays, and a timid lynx basking on its favorite sun-warmed boulder. A young boy presses his palm to the reptile tank, recounting how he visited on school field trips, later with his grandmother, and now with his infant son. Demand was so high that tickets for the closure week sold out instantly, yet folks still gathered outside, content to admire the peacocks perched on the walls. But here's where it gets controversial: is this closure a symptom of a broader societal shift, where small, authentic experiences are being overshadowed by bigger, flashier attractions? And this is the part most people miss: the economic realities that no amount of passion can fully combat. Operational expenses have skyrocketed, with feed costs surging and insurance premiums spiking after a harsh winter and 2 soggy summers that washed out events. Educational bookings dwindled during exam seasons, as families opted for more affordable, grandiose entertainment options elsewhere. These smaller parks rely on consistent patterns like weekend memberships, senior morning visits, and steady foot traffic through the gates, but maintaining that rhythm has proven tougher than ever. Energy bills delivered the final blow, leading staff to accept pay reductions and trim budgets creatively. Yet, a place like this isn't about profit margins, it's about forging memories that don't settle your electricity bill of £12,000 for a single winter. We've all faced that gut-wrenching spreadsheet moment when logic clashes with emotion. What lies ahead for the creatures themselves? Behind the public facade, closing down involves a meticulously planned routine that visitors rarely witness. Accredited sanctuaries follow detailed statbooks, essentially genealogical records that track animal lineages, and relocation strategies, matching new homes based on genetic compatibility, available space, and behavioral traits, rather than geographic convenience. For example, crate training begins well in advance and discreetly to minimize stress, much like preparing a pet for a vet visit but on a grander scale. Exchanging scents between enclosures helps soothe animals, while travel pubs are planned meticulously, including rest stops. Veterinarians approve the crates themselves, ensuring they are not just containers but comfortable, home-centered havens. This is deliberate, unhurried work, emphasizing tranquility because a calm transition is the ultimate act of compassion during movement. Community members are eager to lend a hand, and there are effective ways to do so. Contribute to the official relocation fund instead of impromptu food donations, and spread trustworthy updates on social media rather than fueling village gossip groups. Grab one of the final souvenir mugs if available, drop off a note at the front desk, or express gratitude to a caretaker about how their educational chats inspired your children. Let's be real, not everyone acts on these impulses daily, but when you do, it truly resonates. Steer clear of pitfalls like proposing to take home an exotic pet, which requires specialized care and legal permissions, leaping over barriers for a risky photo, or spreading unfounded tales of mysterious buyers without facts. Mourning can be chaotic, but it doesn't need to be unkind. One caretaker, wiping her hands on pants faintly scented with goat, shares a poignant reflection that echoes far beyond a scripted statement. We began with just 3 hands and a vision, and over time, we fostered an entire community. Rest assured, we'll secure excellent homes for every one of them. That's our unwavering vow. Upcoming final open days, check the official website or notices at the gate for schedules, potentially with limited capacity. Fundraising and symbolic adoption options, available until the last animal is settled. Appreciation event for volunteers, scheduled after the last weekend, with details forthcoming. Relocation process, staged over 8 to 12 weeks, including veterinary wellness checks at every step. The modest sanctuary that warmed a community's heart. These types of venues become interwoven into the fabric of a town for a reason. They operate quietly, hosting scout meetings on drizzly afternoons, allowing Girl Guide groups to plant bulbs near the hedgehog recovery area, and even providing a backup generator when the local hall loses power. During festive evenings, owls call through the haze of bonfires. On school days, bus drivers park instinctively. What seems like mere amusement is, in fact, the adhesive that holds a community together. You only truly appreciate it when a void emerges. Visitors exchange tales in the parking lot, with recurring themes: the warmth at the cafe counter, a toddler's first utterance of duck, or the keeper who recalled a child's name from ages past. These seemingly minor details gain immense weight once they're absent. I can't help but ponder the youths who landed their inaugural weekend jobs here, or the retired mechanic who fixed the feeding system simply because he felt compelled. Such a park teaches a town the art of greeting others warmly. Losing it compels us to rehearse farewells. There's also an underlying worry that the future will revolve around digital screens and sprawling shopping centers, a prospect that seems overly simplistic and devoid of warmth. What could possibly fill the void left by a goat enclosure brimming with playful antics? A quick tap on a screen or a viral video? Perhaps the replacement isn't yet clear. Maybe it's a communal vegetable patch with clucking hens and composting bins, or a mobile educational trailer that appears at festivals featuring a ferret and a narrative. The caretakers aren't retreating, they're reassembling. A facility can cease operations yet inspire ongoing endeavors. The message chopped on the gateboard states it plainly: thanks for 17 wonderful years. The unspoken response in people's expressions is equally direct: we'll figure something out. On the final